interesting study to discuss today, and this is actually an animal study. This is a study that was published in the Dermatology journal where they look at the effect of hyaluronidase on the skin, and particularly collagen thickness, dermal density, and the stuff that makes you look youthful. Come with me and we'll talk about it. So this particular study is a Turkish study that looked at when we inject hyaluronic acid into the skin, such as filler, what happens to the skin, what happens to the density of the dermis, and then when we decide to dissolve filler with hyaluronidase, what happens to the elements that are not pertaining to the filler? Or does the filler go away and does part of your dermis and collagen also go away? They took 4 different areas on these rats and they injected them. One was not injected at all, that was called the normal site. One was injected with just filler. The third one was injected with filler and hyaluronidase, which supposedly dissolves filler. And then the last one was injected with just hyaluronidase. Does the hyaluronidase dissolve just filler, or does it actually affect the components of the dermis? So let's go to table 1. When you look at the control, you pretty much see the numbers that correlate to normal. And what they did is they measured these through biopsies taken at 3 hours since the injection, day 1, day 3, day 7, and day 14. And you can see these are essentially what would be considered normal. The hyaluronic acid group had a slight dip in dermal thickness, collagen density, and extracellular matrix density in the first 3 days, but after that it's essentially matched that of normal tissue. And you look at the hyaluronic acid that was injected with hyaluronidase, by day 3 you tend to see differences, and significant differences, meaning there's lesser dermal thickness, there's lesser collagen density, and there's lesser extracellular matrix, which is essentially the fibrous skeleton that makes up your dermis. You look at the last group, or the last zone, where the hyaluronidase was injected on its own, you see similar numbers, meaning reduced dermal density, reduced collagen density, dermal thickness, and reduced extracellular matrix. A lot of this was also correlated to histologic findings, meaning when they took a biopsy of the skin in these rats, they found that they did indeed have lesser thickness, lesser density, and of course a lesser integrity to their dermis. And you can see that in these photos here in figures 2, 3, and 4. The examination of these results seem to indicate that hyaluronidase tends to have a global effect on the integrity of one's dermis, in the sense that you have reduced collagen density, you have a reduced number of thickness of the actual tissue, and hence a little bit of atrophy when you look at it clinically. Although this is an animal study, it is somewhat generalizable to humans because most of the dermatologic literature actually starts in mice and in these cute rats, and then it eventually gets generalized to the human dermis and epidermis. So I hope you enjoyed talking about this study. If you have any comments, I'd be interested in seeing what you have to say.